Rock me, baby.
Alright, welcome to Season 40 of AD2L Wartent. I'm your host, Simba. I'm going to be here with Island of Grin. I'm getting through almost everybody. I think all I have left is Slugcats and Daddy's Dictatorship in terms of teams. I haven't had anybody do content with me. I'm just trying to have everybody in Warrior represented. But yeah, I'm gonna be here with Island. If you want to introduce yourself, Island.
Yeah. Hey, Island, Captain of Grin Fury. Happy to be here.
I know that you played my team last week while I was literally in the middle of the ocean, so we'll get into that later. Am I happy with my team's performance for them last week? Not really. Not really.
Easy dub.
Rather it be a 2-0 either way, but without me, we'll get into probably my thoughts on why my team only won one gel last week. But anyway, updating the power rankings. I have Waste of Golf moving up from the 3 to the 2, and Daddy's Dictatorship dropping from the 2 to the 3 in terms of top 7. And there's only 7 teams, so top 7 teams. Despite our 1-1, I'm gonna keep my team at the one seed in the power rankings, even though we have dropped 2 games in the last 2 weeks. We're still top dogs in the division, so I'm just gonna just give my team a little bit of confidence for themselves. Dark Horse Storm stays at 4, Grin Fairy stays at 5, Slugcat stays at 6, and the lowly winless in actual games Nether Knights is gonna solidly sit at 7.
Uh,
Um,
yeah, I think it's pretty clear cut. I don't think you can make an argument for anything different.
I if we if I had played last week and you guys had 2-0'd us, you'd probably be skyrocketing up the power rankings. But
Yeah.
one of the voices of reason on my team, and had a talk with my team because I heard negative reports back from everybody about what happened last week.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
I'm interested to hear that. Yeah.
The T of Scythe. Yeah. So T of Scythe. You guys may or may not have tilted my team heavily in game 1.
Yep. Yeah. I would say I was a little bit surprised they came back to win game 2. That's
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
surprised as well after hearing what I heard in reports back from my teammates. But moving on to the week 5 games, if you want to scroll down all the way down there, it's a little bit
Yep.
down there, but we have the 1-1 draw between Grin Fury and Grin Scythe in the Grin Bowl of Warrior. Daddy's Dictatorship and Dark Horse Storm 1-1. And Nether Knights and Waste of Golf 2-0'd Nether Knights. Nether Knights only win, sadly, is still their bye week. If we want to get into last week's game, if you want to pull up the Grin Bowl series. Hold on, who hosted Lobby last week?
I think you did.
We did? Oh no.
Yeah, I saw it was tagged as season
Okay,
39.
yeah. I just had
I'm
a.
pretty sure you did.
I don't know. I was
Yeah.
like, who hosted this lobby? If it was my team, I'm gonna just be embarrassed.
Yeah.
If it was you guys, I was gonna give you shit, but alas, I have no idea. But anyway, in the game 1, it was a 30-minute romping of Grin Scythe. We had Chubb Loader who stood in for us, I believe, week 2 or 3 as an offlane for Lacertus. Brought him back because I wasn't gonna be able. I was hoping to get the bye week last week, just so I didn't have to worry about finding a stand-in and my team playing without me. But
Mm.
Subwoofer told me, "Yeah, you guys are doing too good. Sucks to suck. Yeah, you don't get the bye." I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Thanks, Micah. I love you too.
Yeah.
Just bend the rules for me. I have you on payroll, man. Come on."
Wow. Um,
I pay this guy an MMR whenever we happen to play.
I mean, realistically, as long as you're not playing, I think, Waste of Golf or Dark Horse Storm and you're, standing week, I think you're doing all right.
Yeah. Or Daddy's Dictatorship.
Oh, yes.
We already had those games. Well,
Yeah, right. So,
that was early season. Um, so you guys, it was a 23-7.
yeah,
Amir
well,
got knowing Amir, he was probably in comms, bitching that Island is dumpstering me. I need help. This Enigma is doing too much work. Please help me, guys. Please help me. And I bet he didn't get the help.
yeah, certainly not early. I think I got a rotation before he did, if I recall correctly. Um, this is actually a 24 pick Storm Spirit, which I don't think, at that point, all our heroes were chosen. I think it's pretty obvious I want to make him.
Yeah, I can.
Maybe he doesn't know the matchup.
No, I can also tell you that with me not being there and me knowing that you love your micro heroes, Revamp didn't think the Enigma was mid.
Okay.
So he
Oh,
picked,
all right.
yeah, so I knew the Enigma was mid based off looking at the draft and not even looking at anything else. I was like, oh yeah, that's an Enigma mid. That's an island. We bound out all his micro, so he picked Enigma. That's all he has left.
Yeah, I mean, what did he think was mid?
Um, no idea. Uh,
Oh, like
I,
Enigma Offlane Bloodseeker mid? Abaddon carry?
I don't know.
Okay. All right, fair enough.
I wasn't there. I cannot give first-hand accounts. But I know I know Amir's best hero is Storm Spirit.
Okay.
But if he doesn't have a lane, he struggles to play the game. Seems like Lacertus didn't have a great lane, even though they won. But it looks like Qatar Hero was roaming mid a lot. They were roaming around the map on this
Yeah.
bench. Um, and the one thing that I was super confused about with the Schlark pick is that you see Abaddon and you see Shadow Demon,
Yep.
and you pick a hero that is a weak laner and needs to at least have a decent lane to get himself activated into the game in Schlark.
Yep.
And you see basically a free Manta style, and I already knew that the Schlark wasn't going to have a game based off that. I was like, why are we 17 picking a hero that struggles against a strong laner like Abaddon, and even worse against a strong laning support like Shadow Demon? This draft confuses me. I wasn't there. I don't like this
Got
draft at all. Not what I would have thought we would have picked. We allowed the Schlark to be countered easily with the last pick, Bloodseeker, with already seeing Abaddon, Shadow Demon, and then a hard lockdown following with an Enigma. Schlark just doesn't have a game, and that's why Chubloader is only 2-5. He doesn't have a game. He's gonna struggle no matter what this game. Um, it was just a romping from mid lane, top lane, just dumpster, panda. Oh, who is this? Amir?
Island cheating on his brother
God dang it, Grimmy, get out of
with the
here!
filthy Yu-Gi-Oh
Get
player.
out of here, Grimmy!
Wow, kicked.
I just disconnected him. God dang it! All right, I'm gonna go to the private server, get Grimmy, so I don't have to deal with Grimmy sneaking in here.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I think the Slark picks where that draft went wrong. I think you were doing all right before, DK's a meta hero. Um,
Yeah,
yeah. The
draft
Slark
just
doesn't totally make sense to me. And then if you knew Enigma was mid, you're never picking Storm here.
yeah.
On-
Yeah, lanes just completely fall apart, and then you guys just kind of play off black hole cooldown, and then just run it down. At that point, you just play with the black hole, run the Abaddon in front, rupture Bloodseeker, rupture on the Schlark or the DK, and then when people group up, big Blake and black hole. Yeah, pretty easy. I mean, our draft is just a lot harder to execute in terms of what we're trying to do.
And it's relatively greedy. On top of that, you have three cores looking to farm.
Yeah.
Even, in Hoodwink at this point, basically always built Sleipnir, so you have like 3.5 cores.
Yeah. We don't really have a do shit hero.
Right, yeah.
You're constantly saying right now, like these mid lane primal beasts. That's a do shit hero. As soon as you hit 5, even if you're having a bad lane on a primal beast mid, you can hit 5, go gank, get your game back. We don't really have that. We have a Storm who can hit 6, rotate and gank, but if he misses, he's not really a good do shit hero.
Yeah, and he has a tough lane, really tough lane.
Yeah.
We got that tower down.
Yeah. If we want to move on to game 2, which was more of a slugfest, and Island on yet again on a micro hero, the one we let through.
Yeah.
I like this draft a lot more for my team. We have a do shit hero in the Spirit Breaker and the Nyx. We have do shit heroes.
Yep.
Which is why Lacertus, despite losing bottom, is the Spirit Breaker. You just charge the Arc Warden off cooldown, the Dawnbreaker off cooldown. You don't really want to lane against a Razor, so you just charge away to a different core and make your life hard, your Acro's life hard. Literally, you just avoid the Razor at all costs. And we went with a last pick sniper here. All right. I looked at these drafts, but I didn't look at game 2 as hard as I looked at game 1.
Yeah, I again don't think the 24 pick was great. I don't think it was a slam dunk. I think it was better than the Storm pick. And it ended up working out for you guys. But I think we have some ways to get on top of Sniper. Arc Warden, of course, Bubble is quite good until he gets like NKB. So I don't think that was like we win Sniper pick. I think it was okay, and then you guys managed to play it well.
Yeah, high
That
ground.
got you the win.
Plus, the high ground defense is a lot better.
Yes.
We're able to hold our high ground a lot better than with the game 1 draft. So even if lane's lost, you have a sniper, you have a Barra who can charge around the map, you have a Jakiro who can just drop macro pyre. You don't really want to push into a sniper high ground. It's usually how you lose to a sniper. You'll beat him. Push into high ground, lose one fight, lose the game.
Yeah, I think that's basically what happened, if I recall correctly. I wouldn't say we're beating you, but I think we had a bit of an advantage.
It was even. It was basically
Even-ish.
even up until 40 minutes, and then you guys had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 heroes die at the 43 to 45 minute mark. Had 7 heroes die, and you only killed Snapper and Gyro.
Yeah.
After a team wipe for a Jakiro. That's where.
Yeah, and that was on your high ground.
Yeah, so.
We actually, I think, picked off Sniper and then dove the Gyro and got macropyred and all died. If I recall correctly.
Yeah. Yeah, team wipe for Jakiro, 7 for 2. Actually, you're 10 for 2 before the game ends is what it looks like. Yeah, 7 die, 2 die, 2 die to the 2 die that after the big team fight loss on the high ground. It seems like it just fell apart after a failed high ground push for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Surprised we won one. Not happy we won one. I can tell the drafting was... With me not being there, I can tell that the drafting was not great, considering I know most of the time drafting is done by me and Revamp. It's me and him are the main two voices of clarity of what we pick. So
how does that work? Do you know everyone's hero pool, between the two of you?
Yeah, but it's because usually I just don't like doing in-game captaining stuff, so I do all that out of client captaining, setting up scrims, all that, doing the scouting report, all that fun stuff. Usually, we only seem to 1-1 when I don't do a scouting report, a full in-depth dive of people that we're going to play, which we didn't do for you guys because I had no time.
Right, yeah.
So I can tell that the drafting was a little bit more all over the place, and it was a lot more the old saying of too many cooks in the kitchen spoil the broth.
Yeah.
I can tell that this was with our draft, that we had too many cooks trying to make this draft good, and it's our draft is doing a lot of stuff, but not a lot of stuff that it does together. It does a lot of good stuff individually. Together, these heroes are okay. I can tell that Revamp, I know he's a good drafter, but I can tell that it was more than just me, more than just Revamp and me talking. I could tell it was some of Amir's input, some of Chubb Loader's input, some Lacerda's input, some Pentjack input. Can tell everybody had some input on the draft on what they wanted to play, compared to me and Revamp being like, I know that you're good at this hero. It's good in the draft. You're playing it. Sucks to suck. I don't care if you don't want to play it.
So your typical draft when you're both there, you don't even have players suggesting
We
heroes for
we
themselves.
we do have them suggesting, but give we kind of have them give me 2 to 3 heroes,
Okay,
and I in my head, just because I've been playing this game for way too long, I'm like, okay, this hero does this. We want this to do. We want this hero because it'll help us do this. It's better than like say usually if we were gonna pick in a mere storm, we usually have another hero that's a do shit hero.
mm,
Usually we wouldn't have paired it with a like Dragon Knight. We would have paired the Storm with another initiating hero like a Blink Lion, a Nyx Assassin, a jump hero for Lacertus, instead of just a DK who kind of wants to sit and farm. Uh, we would usually have Lacertus on the do shit hero just because I know how Mirrored plays. He doesn't like being the first initiator. He'd rather be
gotcha.
the follow up and reinitiate hero on his Storm. He plays his Storm different than a lot of people. He likes to secondary initiate on it
Yeah,
and find the hero that he wants to pick off instead of hoping to find the hero he wants to pick off.
gotcha. So normally your players suggest a hero for himself, like 2 to 3, and then you and Revamp hash it out back and forth.
Yeah,
Okay.
usually how it works.
And
Gotten
do you have a
this.
typical like pick order that you're already planning on, or is it somewhat
Um,
responsive?
it's depends on if we already know what we want to pair core wise with cores. If we usually we just kind of pick our first hero. Usually we just kind of at least have a couple heroes that we can flex here and there. If you look at our earlier drafts, we
Mm,
have our pick order. We have a hero that we can flex into. We don't show our lanes fully, so we have like a hero that we can flex somewhere else. So we don't give away our lanes early, and you know what you're going to be playing against. We kind of drafting wise,
mm,
we hide what we're doing a little bit,
gotcha. Yeah, typical flex type thing.
which you can see in the previous season drafts, previous drafts in this season is that we have our flex hero here and there, and that you don't really see what it's gonna be. But moving on to Daddy's dictatorship or whatever they are now. Imagine getting Vac Band Keck W. You're still gonna be Daddy's dictatorship, and if you're in here, Daddy, you're still gonna be Daddy's dictatorship. Um, But Daddy's Dictatorship versus Dark Horse Storm. This was also a surprising, actually not too surprising, 1-1 series just because I know Dark Horse Storm is a relatively consistent team in terms of being good. And so far this season, I know Angry Sun's been on a different level than a lot of mid players. He's been playing out of his entire mind, it seems, every game. He's been trying to carry Dark Horse Storm, making space for tens, playing with Barry. Angry Sun's been the Dark Horse Storm MVP. I don't know if he's usually been that way, but this season Angry Sun he's in God mode, we'll say. He's just in God mode.
It's been all 5 of them, right? This is
Yeah.
the same team.
That's the friend stack.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
So it's the same Dark Horse Storm. I'm pretty sure it's Angry Sun and Barry are the reason they have to play up.
Okay.
Everybody else is kind of lower.
Yeah, they were a
Tens is
challenger team at some point.
Yeah, it's just Angry Sun and Barry got really good, and Angry
Mm.
Sun's just on a different level this season than a lot of the mid players. I know in our series against him, my draft philosophy for key to victory was ensure Angry Sun doesn't have a game, and we will be fine.
Oh, that's fair.
Just because I know how Angry Sun plays, because I know he was doing really good last season, but he wasn't. He's just on a different level this season. It's weird
All
compared to
right, he's
third
winning
man.
lanes,
Yeah,
winning games.
he's not even winning lanes. He just knows what his hero does. He's just playing very very well. Like, I remember I casted Dark Horse Storm series like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. I don't remember, but I know Angry Sun was playing out of his entire mind in a losing game on Primal Beast. He just would shit out damage. And then in game two, I can't remember. I think he was playing OD. He just popped all the way off again. Like Angry Sun's he's been on a different level. And then you have Wild Daddy, who in Warrior Chat kind of dogged himself on his dog in Lycan. He said, "Look at the Lycan game; it wasn't that good." I'm like, "But you guys played Dark Horse Storm and Angry Sun popped off, and you're playing
Mm,
Lycan into Troll Warlord. Even
yeah.
if you're on the big fast Wolfie, if you get rooted and he can just lock you down consistently, you're just kind of crying at that point on the Lycan because you don't want to fight a hero that can root you. But they have a lot of catch for the Lycan. They have Disruptor. They have Hoodwink. They have the Jump from Storm. And if Tim can get a lucky root, like they have a lot of lockdown for a Lycan, so it's not a free Lycan game. And it looks like, yeah, this was a very slow game. Just consistent heroes dying, heroes dying. Not a lot
Yeah.
of. It just looked like Dark Horse Storm won this game by just slowly choking out Daddy's dictatorship.
And I believe Wild Daddy doesn't buy BKB. I think that's a well-known
Uh,
fact.
yeah, he doesn't buy BKB. He's a BKB.
I mean,
He does. He's not a BKB enthusiast. We'll say.
yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know how you're gonna win this game without buying BKB.
Good luck, have fun. I don't know.
Yeah,
Cry about it.
yeah.
I know, like
Especially right-click Lycan. If you went Helm, then that's a whole different story. But I mean, obviously, position one Lycan's probably not going to go Helm.
no.
Because then you're not that bad against Disruptor. He can't send you and the Helm creep back. Uh, because you just have two pieces to play with. But with just trying to be right-click Lycan with Deso, I mean, how are you ever connecting to anyone without a BKB?
You're really not. And the thing is, I know
Really? Yeah.
Lycan's weirdly right now. He's a good offlaner and he's a good carry because I know.
Yeah.
I've just been weirdly like tuning into like Mason at like 2 a.m. just because the dude streams at weird hours, and he's been playing a lot of carry Lycan. So
Yeah, I don't think it's bad.
the carry Lycan makes sense. I've seen high level immortals been playing it. It's just the no BKB against a lot of magic damage does not help your case.
Yeah.
Um,
I think this is like second item BKB. I think that's I look at this lineup and
yeah,
that's what I'm thinking.
maybe yeah. Get the Echo Saber BKB, then rebuild into your Harpoon Deso.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's where I'm at.
Yeah, Pro Dark Horse Storm just played this game very well. They have a very team fight happy team, and they obviously executed that very well. Um, Tins played well. Angry Sun played well. I haven't watched the replays on this game at all, but I know Pangan, his hoodwink is very good, and he probably had some crazy. Uh, I can't remember what the hoodwink W is called. But
Oh, Bushwhack
yeah,
or
bushwhack. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, bushwhack. He probably had some crazy bushwhack grabs, just because I remember watching his hoodwink from not too long ago. But I know his hoodwink was just really good. Like 3 weeks ago, whenever I happened to cast the Dark Horse Storm series, he had some crazy bushwhacks on hoodwink. He probably did the same in this game. But moving on to game two, it's kind of a flip of the script. Not real. This is more of a get down and dirty game. We have a throw at 40 minutes by Dark Horse Storm, and then that's just the end of the game for them. But it's kind of a back and forth all the way up until they just get team wiped for a Shadow Demon. But back and forth up until then, lose one fight at 40 minutes against an anti-mage, and your game's just kind of done. It's not even the best of anti-mage games. I know anti-mage is really good against Sand King. It's not the... It does weird against Puck. If Puck catches you, you die. If you catch Puck, Puck dies. It's a weird thing. And then I know last picking AM into an Ursa, because I know in theory Ursa counters an anti-mage just because he puts out a lot of damage really quickly, and anti-mage doesn't really want to fight against that.
Yeah, you're never man fighting the Ursa, for sure.
But it looks like Tins played well and your son played well, but one big lost team fight at 40 minutes, just lost Dark Horse Storm this game. It was pretty back and forth. It was in their favor even at that point. And then they just lost the fight at 40. And it looks like their heads just went into the dirt at that point. They just kept losing fights, until the end of the game, where Wild Daddy's Anti-Mage didn't really carry this game. It looks like it was more of a... They're standing with Kane Bloodiest and Jaysar. Those two did a lot of work this game. You have 24 assists on the Tide, 20 on the Pango. Looks like those two were the main reason these fights were. Looks like Daddy's Dictatorship won the game, mainly because off the Tide and off the Pango. And I know Jaysar, I think he's played Pango a bit already this season. And I know his Pango's been relatively good if he has a decent matchup, which I don't think he should against the Puck in lane. But he drew.
I think
the
it's an
lane.
okay lane. I think it's okay.
I don't.
Your harass is pretty good.
Yeah, I'm not a mid laner, so
Okay.
I just go ranged hero against the melee. Ranged wins. That's usually how it works.
Well, you have physical harass though against the Puck if she can't dodge it, which I don't think you can like reliably on that whatever the Q is.
Phase shift or
Well, right, yeah.
illusion,
Phase shift against
illusion
the Pango's Q, the swashbuckle.
Yeah.
That's like physical harass, like a Kunkka kind of, and I don't think you can reliably dodge it because it's pretty quick animation.
Yeah.
So
But
that's pretty good.
looks like this was more of a back and forth game. One big lost team fight of 40 minutes just ensured that Dark Horse Storm had no way back in. Then they just kept dying after it.
Dark Horse Storm opening the same both games for anyone who's going to play him. I mean, you better have an answer for Hoodwink Sand King.
Yeah. I think they've last 2 weeks ago they ran Hoodwink plus Night Stalker both games
Night Stalker's the berry special, right?
Yeah.
So it's banned here.
Yeah. Even
banned both games.
Even though Night Stalker's not proving to do much at Dream League, if you happen to look at his Night Stalker stats, he's not doing a whole lot. I think
that's like Barry's number one hero, right? It always has been.
Yeah, I mean we're obviously not pro, so it's more of a comfort league. So, but I know Night Stalker at Dream League. I think the hero's like 0-6 or 0-5.
Oof.
So, at the highest level Dota, the hero's just not doing well. So, Night Stalker might have some buffs. Hey Barry, if you watch this back, Night Stalker's not doing well at Dream League. Your boy might be getting some buffs. So be excited.
Despite that, so they open Hood SK,
Yeah,
and then Daddy's loses game one, and they don't change their bans. I mean, they just still, or they don't ban either of those two heroes, for whatever that's worth.
They had the same. Okay, so their first game they banned out Night Stalker, Jakiro,
Yeah.
and then they banned out Techies, Night Stalker, Wind Disruptor.
And then they picked the Jakiro on the other side.
Yeah.
But so I guess they didn't think it was the Sand King or the Hoodwink.
They just felt that the disruptor was the reason they lost game one because they banned that out instead.
Yeah, right, exactly. So, that said,
There's no
yeah, I mean,
memes from Dad's dictatorship in either draft though.
true.
So we don't
True. I
have.
mean, BKB list, like, I would argue, is a meme.
Well, that's the daddy special. There's no BKB on any of those.
Yeah, but
Just play.
there's like
Just outplay everybody. That's all you gotta do.
there's like doing the thing when it's close but wrong, and then there's doing the thing when it's like wrong and wrong.
Yeah. But moving on to the last series of last week between Ness's Waste of Golf and Row 914's Nether Knights, which was a 2-0 in the favor of Waste of Golf. I know last week when we played Waste of Golf, Ness played carry, Ren played 4. Looks like they swapped it this series and Ness played 4, Ren played carry. I think the nature of this game is it's pretty self-explanatory. It's just the Tinker show. You really have no answers for a Tinker on the side of Nether Knights. You got maybe a lucky Dream Coil if Milk Boxy's not paying attention. That's about it.
I don't know. I mean, you got Anchor, Blink Anchor, but yeah, I guess it's an okay Tinker game. I think that hero sucks. It's pretty hard to win a pub with Tinker. I guess this is a Milk Boxy special. This is one of his heroes. He lost the lane.
Oh yeah, it's his most played hero. So
Yeah. If you do this in a pub, if you go pick Tinker and lose your lane, as far as I'm concerned, the game's over.
yeah.
Right now, I just hear it doesn't farm well. Doesn't really provide much until you get Blink.
Since they took away your March of Machines,
Yeah.
thank
And
God.
he's just, they also nerfed the laser range, and he's just a substantially weaker laner as a result.
He's landing against
Um,
the puck, so not the easiest hero to land against. You really don't land
True.
any of your spells. If Chattanooga
Yeah.
just phase shift dodges, rockets or laser.
I actually, when I do it, I usually, although Milkbox is a better Tinker player than I am, I usually, instead of rockets, I get shield, and I just try to trade right clicks with Buck. It's a relatively efficient spell at
What did
level
he
1.
do? No, he just maxed rocket laser.
Oh, sorry. All right. Well,
That's all he did.
yeah, easy.
Well,
And then lost.
Yeah, we lost the game.
And then went 15-3.
Yeah, I mean, take
So-
your show. I mean, you can easily make a Luna cry because that hero's not that tanky. And then
Yeah.
you can go top, kill the Vengeful. Looks like it was a 20-minute fight, lost team fight, 30-minute lost team fight, and then 2 team fights at the end where Nether Knights just lose the game. I mean, it's a Tinker. You just have to. The only real way to beat a Tinker is just take his towers early,
Yep.
which Nether Knights have the ability to do with a Luna, but it looks like they just. When Luna wants to join her team around the 20-minute mark, 25-minute mark, she died. So Luna kind of loses out on taking any towers, and that just loses you a lot of momentum on Nether Knights when your Luna finally joins you and you just start losing the fights that you would hope that you're going to win.
Yeah. So I was gonna say I don't know how Luna Undying lose the lane, but it is Pugna Primal.
Yeah, Primal. I mean, Double Stuff didn't. He went 3-9. They won the.
They won
lane,
their
though.
one lane though. That's like it feels like if Luna gets a good start here and Tinker loses the lane, I don't know. That looks like the recipe success for me, but
Yeah, but looks like Luna got shut down in lane. Kieran couldn't recover. I mean, a 12-minute Mask of Madness isn't the greatest of timings.
no, yeah.
You want that around like the 9-10 minute mark. If you get an early tread, you want that early. You can back to the jungle, call it good. But Luna losing lane, I know. I don't know what the biggest struggle is for Nether Knights. I know they haven't won a game yet this season. Not quite sure. I know they're a friend stack, and I know they came up from, I believe, Challenger. So they're no, or the one below it. So they either moved up one division or two divisions. That they might have moved up two. I'm not quite sure. I know the main reason is because God Ramen went all the way up to like Ancient 3, their support player.
Mm.
So no, that's the reason they went up to Warrior. They're a French stack. Um, it just seems like they're a little out of their depth at times. Like there's a
Yeah,
drastic difference playing against Crusader Archons to Legend Ancient players. There's a different skill gap there, even though we're higher skill shitters.
definitely. They held it even till net worth till 20 minutes, net worth experience. So I mean, they can lane to some degree.
Yeah, looks like lane
Uh,
stage is their
uh,
not their specialty, but looks like that's where they're best at. And then it kind of just their it looks like their mid game just falls apart. Looking at the
yeah,
looking at the
that's,
graph here, like the 20 to 30 minute mark, they just start to lose fights, and they're 5K to they just from 30 minutes to 32 minutes it doubles net worth lead wise for
mm.
golf. So yeah, golf just handing Nether Knights their seventh loss and their eighth loss. Looks like the eighth game two was a lot swifter of a defeat.
Yeah.
Um, this looks like it was this double stuff show. 7-1 on Mars. It didn't really allow. They picked Kieran this Luna again. I know the hero's really good, but it looks like Kieran just couldn't get on a lane stage again. They lost in 25 minutes. It's even more swiftly of a beating. Uh, waste of
They
golf.
pick
Just
anti-mage in response to Luna, huh?
I don't.
That doesn't jump out at me as the right thing to do. I
No.
mean, it worked, but
I mean, right now,
uh,
if you're watching, I've been watching way too much Stream League, but it seems that the response to a Luna Dream League is that you pick Sven just because you want a hyper farmer for a hyper farmer.
yeah, that seems a reasonable answer.
That seems to be what I'm
Uh,
seeing a lot of these Dream League games. Or if somebody bans out Luna, you pick Sven just because Sven's like the only hero that's still a good hyper that still can hyper farm and recover in the jungle if lane doesn't go well.
okay, Dota buff I looked has Luna anti-mage at basically 50%,
So it's a
50.22.
50-50. Yeah.
Yeah, 50/50. So all right, I would have thought, the 25-minute Luna jungles and then just takes all the towers plan
Yeah, just speeds up the game too
works,
fast.
but
But
I guess not.
they
Yeah,
lost in 25 minutes, so it didn't matter.
did the opposite. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah,
Last
just
pick, Death Prophet into Riki. Huh? Yeah. Okay.
it makes sense because you don't
Yeah.
really like you
We'll
see
get
an anti
XLing.
mage Ricky. I mean, Death Prophet's a lane winning hero, so shouldn't lose a
Mhm.
lane to a Ricky. But that's the only lane that went okay for Nether
Mhm.
Knights. Every other lane lost handily. So not the most stellar game from Nether Knights. Not really great when you lose in 25 minutes either. That's a little demoralizing.
Yeah. Those are tough. I don't hate their drafts. I don't hate the
No,
drafts.
it's just
And the
their
laning stage game
execution.
one was okay. And Waste to Golf's a good team. So
Yeah.
uh, if you made it 20 minutes, I mean, had real chances, I think.
Yeah, there was probably some openings that they probably didn't execute on. Haven't watched the replays, don't really know what occurred, but Nether Knights drops to 1-8 on the season. Their only win coming against the bye week, so they're yet to win a game against any team in Warrior so far this season. After coming in at a -1 in terms of their plus minus, but Nether Knights has just struggled to get out of their own way. It seems consistently.
All right. Well, I'm a fan of their drafts. I think that's not what has to change. If anyone's out there listening from Nether Knights.
It's just your mid-game execution.
Yeah, I think that's what needs work. We actually, and I found this rather instructive. A couple weeks ago, we were having some discussions about who should be rotating where during the laning stage, first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I actually just went and watched like 8 or 10 pro games in a row, just quickly jotted down where everyone was rotating in the pro games. It was mostly Team Spirit games. Made some notes for my team, and I actually think that helped us kind of like solve our dispute, about where things were going, where players rotate. So I think I don't know, could be done here for the mid game as well.
Yeah. If you want to go back to the main spreadsheet, we'll just do our predictions for games this week. Looking at I'm gonna do my game of the week prediction, and then we'll do the predictions. My
Okay.
game of the week is gonna be Waste of Golf versus Dark Horse Storm. Self-explanatory. You have Waste of Golf, who's 6-3, Dark Horse Storm, who's 5-4. You have the I need to fix that really quick. You have the 3 and 4 teams vying for what I believe. I think we talked about this before we started the stream, but probably for upper bracket, because I believe it's going to be the top 3 seeds make the upper bracket. The 1 seed gets the bye, and then just because we have 7 teams, the 4, 5, 6, 7 are going to be lower bracket. So could be interesting for playoffs, considering we're 2 weeks out. A couple teams vying for upper bracket between Waste of Golf and Dark Horse Storm. So that's gonna be my game.
I mean, technically, anyone except Nether Knights probably could make up for it, right? 2 more weeks.
You guys, Slugcats, Dark Horse Storm, Waste of Golf. I mean, shoot, even if we happen to get 2-0'd by Nether Knights, we could drop all the way out of uppers.
Oh, sure. Okay. This could be their week.
I hope it's not.
They got Simba, off this vacation. He's not going to play any pubs.
What do you
He's
mean?
just coming.
If you look at my Dota buff, I've been playing way too much Dota.
No. You gotta give him hope here. You gotta give him hope.
I came back from vacation with a vengeance.
He's sick.
Yes, I am sick. You got the Simba.
Hasn't played any pubs.
We got the Simba flu game against Nether Knights.
Yeah. He's gained some weight. He's not at his fighting weight. He had too many chicken tenders.
Too many chicken tendies on my cruise. Yeah. I mean, it was free all you can eat tendies, okay? Free all you can eat tendies, along with pizza and fries and
So I think Nether Knights, this is your week to strike.
You got you got Simba on a flu game. You got me coming back from vacation. Even though don't look at my Dota buff, Ro, if you're watching, don't look at my Dota buff and see I've come back with a vengeance to just ensure that we move to 10-2 on the season. So I'm going to predict a solid 2-0. I mean, Nether Knights has yet to win.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'd love to, if I think I want them to win. I'm rooting for the Nether Knights. Statistically, I think I have to give you guys the 2-0.
Yeah, just number-wise, they've struggled to get out of their own way.
Yeah. I think they have real chances in the draft. And then they're going to have to execute a little better.
Moving on to the series of the week. It's going to be Waste of Golf. So Ness versus Barry. Actually, they're going to be on opposite lanes, but the Ness versus Barry series. I can see that. I've watched Dark Horse Storm. I've played against Dark Horse Storm. I've played against Golf. They're both really good teams. If Angry Sun pops off like he's been doing all season, I feel like Angry Sun's gonna at least carry Dark Horse Storm to 1 win, just because he's been playing at a different level like the last 2-3 weeks. I think Angry Sun's like the the main reason Dark Horse Storm is gonna at least take a win off. They can 2-0 anybody any week, but they can always at least take one game off anybody any week.
Yeah, I think I'm with a 1-1. So Dark Horse Storm, they 1-1 the Slugcats.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Did they let me double check? Yeah, it was a 1-1. Yeah, that's the series I casted. It was a 1-1.
Hmm. Slugcats. Yeah. I mean, I think this favors Waste to Golf. I do. I'd lean
Yeah.
them if there was a 2-0, but I do
Player to
think
player wise, Waste of Golf should win in a 2-0, but Angry Sun's he's just been playing at a crazy high level.
and he's got a hype man in his corner. Yeah.
Yeah, he has the Simba hype behind him. It's fine.
Yeah, I think I got to agree. I got to agree with the 1-1. To be different, actually, I'll go to Waste to Golf.
And then we have the Grin Fury versus. I've become friends with a lot of the Slugcats guys, but then do I have how much loyalty do I have to Brian and Grin? This one's a toughie for me, just because I've become friends with Slugcats, but
Yeah.
then it's the loyalty to Grin. I've been with Grin for like 3-4 years at this point.
Yeah.
I I know Devil can play against you mid. That's where the game's won or lost for Slugcats if Devil can beat you mid. Do I think he can do it at least one game? Nah, Devil, if you're watching, I love you, buddy. Just ban out all of Island's micro and
No,
give
no, no,
yourself a
no.
chance.
Don't do that.
But unfortunately, guys, I'm gonna be too loyal to my own org. It's gonna be a 2-0 for Grand Fury.
We appreciate it. I think we're pulling our act together here. We started the season kind of tough. I do think we're the favorites. Yeah. I think we can pull a 2-0. A little confidence, taking a game off the number one seeded Grin Scythe.
I mean, their captain wasn't there, but
Yeah, well,
superlatives.
we don't count things like that. You know.
I mean, there's a reason I put an asterisk next to every
Mm-hmm.
series when I know something occurred.
Mm-hmm. These are hypotheticals. I'm talking about results here, Simba. All right.
Yeah, you guys took a game off the top team. Yeah, you did good.
It's a game, and I think honestly, you're lucky it wasn't 2 games. I think we had a little miscommunication on our side. I think it could have been 2 games.
We had a lot of miscommunication from what I heard. Get our first game, so a lot of team chatter that didn't need to occur. But I think I've solved the issue and ensured that it doesn't happen again. Kind of figured out what the root cause of it was, and kind of talked with everybody on my team and went like, "What the hell happened to game one? Why did we look like shit? What caused us to look like shit? And what do we need to do to fix it so we don't look like shit?" So, talked with my team about it because I was just like, we should have 2-0'd the Fury, in my opinion, but then again, I'm not there. And I know finding a carry stand-in, I know it's easier to ban against me instead of Chubloader, but I feel like my plays there's a reason Chubloader's legend still, and I'm scratching and clawing my way to Divine.
Are you that high? Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm halfway to Ancient 5 again.
Oh, very nice. Congrats.
Before going on vacation, dropping from Ancient 4 to Ancient 3, I don't think I've lost a solo pub yet, so that feels good.
Feels good.
But anyway, that's gonna be week 6 of Wartent. I had Island here guest hosting with me. Good luck to you guys against Slugcats. If Slugcats is watching, I'm sorry about the 2-0. I love you guys. You guys are great. You guys are great group of guys, but I'm a little bit too loyal to the org. That's the only reason it's a 2-0.
Bias rearing its ugly head.
Yeah, Brian's paid for me to
Entries.
be here. So I gotta give love to the org sometimes. Gotta give love back to the org that give you love. It's just how it works.
Checks out.
But anyway, that's week 6 of Wartent. Good luck in your guys' games,
You
whoever's
as well.
watching. Good luck in your week 6 games. I know I looked at the viewers. I know Ness was here. Good luck against Dark Horse Storm. I know that's going to be a competitive series. Anybody who's watching, have fun in your pubs, in your comps. Just enjoy the game. Check out Dream League if you need an idea of what's relevant right now and what is really good in terms of what pros are thinking is good. So you can maybe develop some of your draft ideas, but Dream League's going on. You can watch that. But anyway, you guys have a good rest of your night. I'll see you guys next time.
Catch you later.
God, I'm sick.